Let me begin by saying that there are more than a few Indian names in this account that I'm going to be sharing with you. North American Indian, that is. I will try to pronounce them as correctly as possible, but if I've made a mistake and it offends anybody, I offer my apology right now. The piece being offered is a Native American 1686 deed, The Praying Indians. At one time, there was a group of Native American Indians who were commonly known as the Praying Indians. They were disciples of John Eliot, who preached salvation to the Indians. I want to share with you information on an Indian deed from 1686, and I obtained the information from the November 1930 catalog this month at Goodspeeds. And I will be quoting a lot from that publication. So let's begin. An Indian deed of 1686 recording the acquisition of Hassana-Misko by Sachem John Wampus and his tribesmen was listed for sale in said catalog. Hassana-Misko, now Grafton, Massachusetts, was the capital of the Praying Indians, who were the disciples of Pastor John Eliot and allies of the Bay colonists. Their capital town comprised a tract of 4 miles square, lying in the Nipmuc County, which apparently extended over present Worcester County, a few adjoining Connecticut towns, and westward to the Connecticut River. The deed, in manuscript form, is on a single vellum sheet that measured about 22 inches by 23 inches, and is signed by a score of whites, and Indians, including Edward Randolph, agent of the Crown, and most interesting, it was also signed by James Printer, assistant to Samuel Green and Marmaduke Johnson, in printing John Eliot's Indian Bible, and the first native North American native Indian printer, James Printer is mentioned in Robert F. Rodin's Cambridge Press 1638-1692, in G.P. Winship's First American Bible, and in F.C. Pierce's History of Grafton. Rodin says Marmaduke Johnson, the new printer, did not arrive in New England until the summer of 1660. In the meantime, Samuel Green, assisted by an Indian apprentice, James the Printer, later just called James Printer, who was employed on both editions of the Bible, had printed sheets A to L, Matthew to John. Pierce writes, James Printer was subsequently, after 1674, engaged as a teacher at Chabana Kong Kumun. He is referred to as a sober, pious, and ingenious person, and well-read in the scriptures. He was the first that settled the town, Hassana-Misko, and got the people to him. In 1698, 5 families had returned to Hassana-Misko following King Philip's War, and among these was James Printer, who was distinguished for his agency in printing the Indian Bible as well as for his great intelligence. Pierce's History of Grafton deals at some length with the Indian deed in question. A catalog description of the deed would be as follows. Articles of Agreement, indented, made, and concluded the 25th day of August, Anno Domini, or Domini, something like that, 1686, and in the second year of the reign of our sovereign Lord, King James II, between Edward Pratt of Mondham, Mendon, in New England, planter, George Danson of Boston, executor of executors, and assignee of assignees of John Wampus, alas, also white, an Indian, late belonging to the Hassana-Mesak, or Hassana-Misko, or Hassana-Misit, i.e. Grafton, Massachusetts, in New England, in the behalf of themselves and partners on the one part, and Thomas Tracy, uncle to said John Wampus, Simon Sassamit, James Printer, all Indians and proprietors in certain lands lying at Hassana-Miskok in the Nipmuc County, are as follow. 7 articles granting 4 square miles comprising Hassana-Miskok to the Indians, together with fishing privileges, etc., in return for 8 square miles in the Nipmuc County, herein ceded to the white parties to the agreement, signed and sealed by 8 whites and 11 Indians, including James Printer, signed on verso by British agent Randolph, Edward Randolph by Recorder of Deeds of Suffolk County, Joseph Webb. The deed includes on it the excessively rare autograph of Native American Indian James Printer, assistant to Green and Johnson, as I've already said, in the printing of the John Eliot Indian Bible at Cambridge in New England. Edward Randolph, the crown official before whom the grant was sealed, was at various times agent of Charles II and James II, Secretary of New England, members of the Governor's Council, and so on. By false reports of the wealth and population of New England, he brought about a revocation of the charter. He was a close associate of Sir Edmund Andros, with whom he was imprisoned by the irate colonists. His letters and papers occupy 7 volumes in the publications of the Prince Society. At present, this is all the information that I have on this rare document featuring some very interesting persons on the early colonial scene. Thanks for stopping by, and why not take half a second to subscribe so you don't miss out on a single new program here at the Dennis Morrison channel. Thanks for stopping by, and God bless.